resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
I was talking about the process of how we got to where we are at now, right? So we all started back in the day. There was your email. Email became Web 1.0, which was the basic internet where you could just look at things and read. Then Web 2.0 was where there was more interaction. All of a sudden, transactions online began to be more normal. I remember the day, when there was a lot of talk about, will galleries survive the web? Will artists will still have galleries because now we have the internet? I mean, I remember those conversations where even artists said, I will never, use the web because people need to see art online. Or people who used to say, nobody's going to buy art online because people need to see the physical thing. People will need to see the actual artwork. I mean, those were conversations about 15, 20 years ago. Where there, now today, everybody has purchased something online, especially after the pandemic, right? So, the world continues to change and evolve. And I've been a participant of that evolution as an artist, and also, with the things that I do as a gallery owner, as a curator, educator. I love all these evolutions of how the world and technology continues to evolve and change. Then social media came around. If you remember social media when, Facebook started, MySpace actually before Facebook, MySpace, and then Facebook. And then a lot of people say, well, I will never use Facebook. That's for kids. That's weird stuff. Nobody's going to use, that's not going to last forever. Well, now, everyone who said, I will never use Facebook, they probably had at some point a Facebook account. Then came Instagram. A lot of people say, well, Instagram is just for kids, just taking pictures of themselves, selfies. Now what? Fast forward, Instagram is now 11 years old. Instagram now, again, for an artist, is kind of like the way in which we look at what we are all doing, kind of where we connect with galleries, how we connect with curators. I mean, the world has continued to change, right? And the evolution of things. And from Instagram, now we have so many options. We have TikTok, which has started to grow rapidly, and many of you guys have jumped into TikTok as well, have been very successful at it. There's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's Pinterest. I mean, you name it, right? The options are there. So, I'm just going and running through the evolution of things that we have seen and how this whole thing continues to happen. This time last year, I started to read about NFTs, and I started to look at the headlines of NFTs and the blockchain. I started to kind of I wasn't sure what the hell that was. And I don't know what in the world NFT is. I don't know what the blockchain, that's weird. I don't know. And it took me until about September, October of last year that I really got myself into it. And I put a lot of time in learning and really kind of going into that. So I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about that story in a minute. But, again, all these things rapidly changing. Now Web 3.0 is coming along. If you don't know what 3.0 is about, well, Web 3.0 is just kind of like the beginning right now, where think of it as, right now there's like these huge companies like Google, Facebook, TikTok, who kind of control the environment. Well, the idea that in that Web 3.0 is more decentralized, right? There will be these decentralized, autonomous organizations that will happen. All this information will happen within the blockchain, so it will be more transparent, more open. So there's a lot of weird things, a lot of things that will be changing in regards to Web 3.0. There's a lot, you can watch tons of videos like I watch on YouTube of people talking about what's coming with 3.0 and so on. And we'll see, we'll see how the world evolve and change, how the web that we know now, will evolve and change into that, the metaverse and all this stuff that you guys all, I'm sure, have seen on your devices, on your screen. But all I'm trying to say here, this is not a tech class. What I'm trying to say is that as artists, if you think about it, every new evolution in technology, every new evolution in the world brings up also challenges and opportunities, brings things that are hard and difficult and things that are green and are new opportunities for us. And I think as artists, we have the choice. We have the choice to say, okay, is this new thing that's coming, call it Web 3.0, call it NFT, whatever it is, blockchain, all this, whatever, even if a new platform comes out tomorrow with new social media, is this an opportunity? Is this a challenge? Or is it a bit of both, which a lot of times it happens, and I think what makes me super excited as an artist, and that's kind of why I'm creating or making this video right now, is that as artists, I feel that today in 2022, we have more opportunities than never before. We have more opportunities than never before. And I feel that successful artists who, stay around for a long time, that are not just going to show up and disappear. This are artists who are able to learn and adapt. I think that's one of the things that all as artists we need to do, right? If we want to stay relevant for the long journey, we're here to really be here for the long journey, as I hope I am, for however long that is for me, is that I need to learn, and then I need to adapt myself, my career, the way I maneuver around the world, so that I could still be effective, right? If I would still be, making letters by hand and never, jump into email, I would have lost lots of opportunities. If I had not jumped into Facebook back then, I had lost a lot of opportunities. If I had not, jumped into Instagram, some 8 years ago, I would have lost a lot of opportunities. All these things are things that I have to take time to learn and adapt in order to maneuver in the world with efficiency and with success, as the world changes. We can all spend all day. I can spend a whole hour talking about here the good old days, how good it was, when we had slides, how good it was, when you walk into a gallery and you just carry some slides, you will, talk to somebody, we can spend all day talking about the good old days, but the good old days are not coming back. So I don't spend a second thinking about the good old days. I spend my time thinking about opportunity. What is the new opportunity that's at my reach? And I think that's something that I want to really impart this message for you, my friend. As we go into 2022 and 2023 and beyond, and with all the things that are happening in the world, and with all the new technology and new things that are coming around, don't be afraid of it. Learn, take time to learn, and then think about, how do I adapt? There are things that you will need to adapt, and there are things that maybe you need to ignore, and that is fine, but that's the process of learning. In the learning, you decide what things you will adapt as an artist, what things you'll say, maybe this is not for me right now, but I still want to learn. And I think as artists, for as much as we love to be in the studio all the time, we need to also devote time for learning. I think learning is super important. And if you know me, if you have been following my content, or you've been following me on Instagram and Breakfast with Sergio, I'm all about education. I'm all about sharing what I know, because I feel the more I share what I know, the more I learn. This for me is a learning session too. Believe it or not, even though I'm on this side of the screen doing all the talking, this is also a learning session for me. I'm learning as I'm talking, learning about my thoughts and my ideas about all these whole new technologies and all these new opportunities that we have for artists today. And that's why I do this. That's why I do Breakfast with Sergio. That's how I do my coaching program. The Artist Next Level that you guys know all about, because I'm always talking about that. My new challenge that's coming up starting Monday, From Your Studio to the World. It's all about that, right? It's all about kind of understanding where we are in the world today, and how do we adapt at every stage, and with all the different opportunities that we have. So if you're here, I want to also share with you some really amazing opportunities that you should know about, in case you have missed some of my previous videos or whatnot. But I want to talk into that in two terms. There are two ways to get opportunities, okay? And you choose which one. There are two ways, I believe, that as artists, there are two ways to get opportunities. One way is you can sit down in your studio, you can be in your studio all day and wait for opportunities to come your way. In other words, wait for somebody to knock on your door and say, hey, Mary, hey, Charlie, here's an opportunity for you, take it, And those things happen sometimes. Sometimes you get an unexpected email from a curator who invited you for a show, or you get an unexpected phone call from a gallery who wants to show your work. Those things do happen, right? And that's one way. You can wait for opportunities to happen, and many artists do. And the second option too that you have, that now we have now in 2022, because everything that I've been talking about, is you can also make yourself opportunities. You can create opportunities with, by yourself, or also in collaboration with others. And that is the world that I love to live in. Yes, I love when an opportunity comes my way when I was not expecting it, but I love to get up in the morning and ask myself the question, how am I going to make an opportunity for me today where it wasn't here yesterday? And I love that. I love that question because it keeps my brain thinking about how can I make a new opportunity today? Maybe I can go live on Instagram today for 10 minutes and talk about my new painting. And maybe somebody's going to watch that video either now or later in the replay and will love it and will decide to buy that painting. See, that is creating an opportunity for you today, right? Those are the things that I love to do. That's why I do Breakfast with Sergio. That's why I do everything that I do. Everything at the end points also to me as the artist, as the creator. So, you have to think about yourself in ways, how do I make new opportunities with me with what we have now? Email, we talk about email as being something that we did so long ago. When is the last time that you wrote a thoughtful email to maybe your first collector or the first gallery director who gave you a show or the first curator who invited you somewhere? That old email that is maybe in the, you say, well, they're in my email list. Yeah, they're in your email list, but it's not a personalized thing. What if you could open yourself an opportunity by just going to one of those first emails and then send them a thoughtful message of what you're doing right now? Not a salesy message, click here to buy my art, but a thoughtful message of reconnecting with that person. And by doing so, you never know if that will open up some new opportunities, right? So that's kind of like the world in which I live in, the world in which I operate in, and the world in which I share with you, my friends, because I believe every day in 2022, we can wake up to new opportunities. If we want to create those opportunities, if we want to take our part, yeah, you can wait in your studio all day and wait for those opportunities to come your way, or you can get proactive at the same time and start creating new opportunities for your way. And by the way, we have right now about 30 people watching on Instagram, about 60 on Zoom, and I don't know how many on Facebook, so I cannot see my Facebook page right now. Thank you guys, whatever you're watching, plus a bunch of them more who will be listening this to the podcast, or you listening this to the podcast on the replay. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you all for taking your time. I hope that this message inspires you and motivates you, to take action today, to think about, wow, I live in 2022. I'm going to pinch myself and think about all the opportunities that are available for me. Now, when I think about opportunities, I think about opportunities in two ways. I think about opportunities in 2022. They happen in the physical world, this flesh and bones physical world in which we live in right now. And also they happen in the virtual world, online, in now the metaverse, or everything that's online based, including social media, right? That's where opportunities can happen in both places. For example, somebody invites you. Marina says, just what I needed to hear. Thank you, Marina. Thank you for making that comment. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for all your comments here, also in the chat on Zoom, on Facebook or Insta, whatever you may be watching this or listening in the podcast. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, there's two places to find opportunities, right? In the physical world and also in the virtual world. Let's say somebody through social media invites you to do a collaboration or invites you to do something, right? That's an opportunity that can happen in social media, or something that you create yourself, right? Say, I'm going to go live, or I'm going to do this online show, or whatever it may be, right? So these are opportunities that happen in the virtual world, and also that are also in the physical world. Yes, I'm going to talk about NFT soon. Yeah, I will get to that soon. So as you look at these things, you have to be careful. And here I want to make the caveat. When it comes to opportunities, you have to be careful that there are a lot of scams out there. For every one of us, there are scams out there. There are a lot of people trying to charge a lot of money for fake opportunities, for opportunities that don't lead to anything. So be careful with that. When you get those DMs, hey, we'll share you on our page for $30, and we have 500,000 followers. And, you gotta be careful with those things. Those are messages that are sent to everybody. We all get them. It's nothing special about you or me. They're just trying to get more people. You got to be careful. Every opportunity that you get, I don't like to say, all the opportunities that are paid are bad. You just have to look and do your homework and assess with the information that I have and that I know, is this a good opportunity or a bad opportunity? And then you decide if you take it or not, right? But there are opportunities out there. Let me give you here some examples of things that you can do that are actual practical things, in order to find opportunities for your art career. One of them. If you identify yourself as a woman, you're a woman artist, there's the Woman Foundation. The WOW Foundation is an amazing community of artists. You may have heard me talking about the WOW Foundation. I interviewed the founders last year. This year, we collaborated on an online exhibition. The WOW Foundation is incredible. It's a great place as well to connect, to find opportunities. The Visionary Art Collective, who's watching here right now on Instagram, we love the Visionary Art Collective. I had an opportunity to collaborate with them. Find them on Instagram. Great place to connect, to find opportunities for all artists, particularly emerging artists. Visionary Art Collective, highly recommended, right? These are places that you can trust to find good information, to find good opportunities that can help you out. The World Foundation provides amazing resources in English and Spanish, and it is totally free. That what's amazing about the World Foundation is they are doing this as a non-for-profit, and it's totally free. These are not, paid opportunities that you have to get. So you have to look at that. You have to look at that. Visionary Collective just released also their first issue, their magazine, which I was happy to be part of it. Thank you guys for being here. And, it is awesome. It is awesome. I got featured because I participated with that, right? I raised my hand and things like that. So World Foundation, Visionary Collective, great places. Also, another place that I want to recommend where you can find really great opportunities will be Artwork Archive. Artwork Archive has an amazing blog that you can look at every week with great opportunities. Sign up to their email list, and every week they send an email with opportunities that they recommend to grants, exhibitions. They do workshops. These are organizations and companies and that are doing amazing things in the world, that are also spreading good opportunities for us as artists. So like I said, a lot of times the opportunities out there, we just need to get up and reach to them. So Artwork Archive, highly recommended. Not only they have a great platform to organize your work, but and your inventory and manage all your sales and so on, but also I'm talking about the resources that they provide. Also follow them on social media, because they have like really awesome, really good things on their social media. Another one that I want to recommend for you guys, because again, I want to make it really practical. There's also Artify. Artify is a platform that provides augmented reality. I'm going to talk about technology in a second, but augmented reality. And they have also an amazing community of artists who are getting into augmented reality. That's kind of how I started to get into NFTs. Is first I started with augmented reality. I love the idea that somebody can point at one of my paintings or a print. If you have seen my latest Instagram reels, my latest print that will be released very soon, you can look at it with your phone, and all of a sudden that image becomes animated, or something happens, or you can see me making the art. In other words, you don't have to go to my website or click on Instagram. You can do it right looking at the artwork right from your phone. And who doesn't have a phone in these days in their hand 24/7, right? So I love that technology, and Artify allows and provides artists, also all this technology and all kinds of amazing resources that you can participate and be part of. So again, I'm giving you just a list of what's at the top of my list. These are the things that I check every week. Every week, I check what's happening in Artwork Archive blog, and I check what's happening in their recommended resources list. So I want to know. I'm an artist, and like I said, I like to create opportunities for me, find opportunities. I looked at what's happening in Artify, in their blog, what's going on in their social media. I mean, those are really great things to look at and understand. And as you look at these things, also there are online opportunities for exhibitions. I run my own SergioGomezCurates.net. If you haven't seen it or participated on that before, I do call for artists year round, online, totally free. I don't charge anybody on SergioGomezCurates.net to submit their art. Super easy to submit. You just email your images with your information that I have there. There are shows with themes. And if you have participated in a show, have got in, congratulations. Maybe you have submitted and have not gotten in just yet. Again, wait for your turn. Hopefully it comes. Every submission that I open up, there's about 800 people, submitting for those shows. So it's really hard to get in, to select 30 or 40 artists for each show. But again, these are free resources, free opportunities where I don't charge anything for artists to submit. I don't charge anybody for exhibiting on SergioGomezCurates.net. And I don't charge any commission if you sell your artwork on SergioGomezCurates.net. So again, these are opportunities. Don't think that all the opportunities cost money. All opportunities are expensive. Opportunities out there for you to go and grab them. So these are the things that will help you out. Will help you out to find opportunities for you. Now, these are opportunities that already exist, but you also want to create opportunities for yourself. And a lot of times to create opportunities for yourself, you have to do the work. For example, something that I've been talking about for a long time, for years now, is learning how to make an amazing, what I call a killer exhibition proposal. I have gotten a lot of opportunities because I've learned, how to create an amazing exhibition proposal. And now I teach that. I've been teaching artists for many years how to make amazing exhibition proposals. And many of the artists who have, taken my course on that and have applied what they learned, they're getting really amazing shows because they know how to ask. Learning how to write an exhibition proposal is about learning how to ask. So if you have never done that, my friend, learn how to create a proposal, because it will serve you well, not only for an exhibition, but anything. Sometimes this has happened to me. Again, everything I'm talking about here is from experience, both as an artist, as a curator, as a gallery owner, as an educator, as an entrepreneur. Sometimes this happened to me before, where I'm driving somewhere, I see a space and I think of it. It wouldn't be amazing to have a show there. It wouldn't be amazing to do something in that space, or collaborate with somebody. So the first thing I got to do is do the homework of who do I need to contact in that place. Once I know who I need to contact, the next step is I need to write an amazing exhibition proposal or proposal for whatever it is that I want to do there. Has to be awesome. Has to be something that is in it for them and something that's in it for me, right? That's what a good proposal is. If you make proposal that is just all about you and the benefit that you have, you will not get good opportunities. A really great exhibition proposal is one that benefits both parties, right? What's in it for them? What's in it for you? And that's just sending a resume. No, just sending a resume is not, it doesn't do anything. That's just a resume. A really proposal, has a lot of parts that make it really good. And that's actually part of my challenge from your studio to the world. We're going to spend one full week. I think that is week number 7, week number 7 in my upcoming challenge. That week, we're going to talk all about proposals. What makes a good proposal, all the different steps of making a good proposal, what things to include in a proposal, what things not to include in a proposal, what makes a proposal too long, too short. How do you get it to people? Not giving up. If you send it to somebody and they don't reply, don't give up. Find the next person in line that you can send that proposal to, and tweaking your proposals. The more you make them, the better you get at it, right? That's week 7 in my challenge from your studio to the world, because that's what it's all about, right? For those of you who want to have opportunities in the physical world, you need to really know how to write amazing proposals. So I hope you check my challenge, because it's going to be really awesome. I actually have a whole course that comes with the challenge on it's called 7 Steps to Creating a Killer Exhibition Proposal. Is my most kind of I would say popular course. It's been out for I think 5-6 years, and I'm sure many of you guys have taken that course, and it is amazing. And I just actually rewrote the whole course last December after the pandemic, because the world has changed. The world of today, of 2022, is different than the world of 2012. So I rewrote the whole course to make new reflecting kind of the world is today. So, those are the things that you need to look at. Press releases, again, I'm talking about opportunity, right? This talks about how to create new opportunities for yourself and for your art, right? That's the topic, right? The topic is not NFTs. I'm going to talk about NFTs and many other things, but the topic is how you create, opportunities in your art career in 2022. That's what all I've been talking about. Places where you can go and find opportunities, how you make your opportunities, how to create amazing proposals. It's another one. How to create a great press release. A press release that gives results is another good one. If you have not taken the time to create amazing, or know how to create amazing press releases, then you need to do that. You may be, shying yourself away from a great opportunity of being featured just because you don't know how to write a press release, or you have never taken the time to do it, right? All these things, my friends, take time to learn. But I believe successful artists, for as much as they want to be in the studio, they also open time for learning. Every day, I open time for learning. It's either through a course that I'm taking, or through YouTube, or through something, or a podcast. Every day, I schedule time for learning. And I believe, my friend, if you want to be an artist for the long run and have success in your career, you have to schedule time for learning, right? All these things take time to learn. So anyway, when you write a good press release, it will help you out. It will help you out to to get featured, to find opportunities. It's incredible. Last year in one of my challenges that I did at the Art Next Level Academy, one of the weeks we talked about the press release. It was for the Small World Art Sales Challenge. And many artists got amazing features. It was one artist actually that got in television to talk about her new series from that press release she wrote. A lot of times we self-sabotage ourselves. We believe, well, nobody's going to like my story. Why would they write about me? Why would they say anything good about me or my art when there are many other artists? So we are the first ones to self-sabotage ourselves and not allowing good opportunities to happen for us because we are already saying no on behalf of the other person. I never say no on behalf of the other person. I ask. If I have something to ask you, I'll ask you. The worst that can happen is that you say, well, Sergio, no. And that is fine. I can live with that. I can live with no's. I have lived with many no's. Just last couple of weeks, I got a big no and I shared it with my community on something I really want to participate on. And I got a no. That's fine. I was sad for a day, but the next day I was up and running. So it's okay to get sad when you get a no, but don't stay there. Don't stay there, my friend. And if you got a no recently on something you want to do, something you want to participate, something that you were really looking forward to, and you received a no, it's okay to be sad for a day or an hour or a minute, whatever, it depends on the size of the opportunity, but don't stay there. Get up the next day and say, you know what, that door was closed, but there are 1,000 many other doors that can be opened today. So I hope this helps somebody watching this right now. So anyway, learn to make these press releases that will help you out, will definitely help you out. And actually in my challenge from your studio to the world that we start Monday on week number 8, we're going to talk about press releases. What makes a good press release? I give you a whole template that you can use for your upcoming press releases. And it's pretty awesome. So, these are things that you can do. And actually last week I did a really cool video, Breakfast with Sergio, with my good friend, Lawrence DeBalmi. Check it out. It's on my Instagram page. Where she gives us 5 tips to make good press releases. Definitely, you got to check that out. Totally free. You can go and see that. And the way to get started, I think about, wow, I never thought about this. If you send a press release with the subject line, press release, that doesn't invite anyone to read it, right? You got to really think about these things. So I can spend a whole hour talking about press releases, but that's not the point of this one. We're talking about how do we find new opportunities for us, right? Just got a no at a local museum, said our friend Riva right now. Riva, I understand it hurts, it sucks when you get a no. So, but you get up the next morning and you say, you know what? This was a no, it's a learning opportunity. How can I improve? How can I make it better the next time around? A no now doesn't mean a no forever. So, and then you move up and then you move on and you learn. Everything is a learning experience. I have gotten more no's than yeses, but I celebrate my yeses, and you guys see me doing all the things that I get a yes for, right? Because the reason I get yeses is because I got so many no's. And that's kind of how it works. You got to grow that thick skin and say, for the sake of my art, for the sake of my career as an artist, I'm going to continue pushing. I'm going to continue pushing and moving forward, even if I get a no from a curator, a gallery, or a show that I wanted to get in. No's are part of the game, right? Part of kind of how it is. Now, I want to talk also a little bit about kind of what's working right now and what's not working right now, right? I said in this chat with you, I wanted to also talk about kind of what's working and what's not working. And the reality, my friend, if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook or through Zoom, or if you're listening to the podcast, the reality is that there are a lot of things that we sometimes do that we're just wasting our time. We're not good at managing our time correctly. And I believe in order to be a successful artist, you have to successfully manage your time, because you are everything in your career. You are, you are the cleanup person. You are the marketing person. You are the artist who makes the art. You are the delivery person. You are just about everything, unless you have an assistant or an intern or something that can sometimes come and help. That always is really good. But as that, you have to learn to manage your time so that you are not wasting it on things that do not matter anymore, right? So that's why I said at the beginning, you got to look at what's working right now, what's working in the world, and devote more of your time to that, and do the less things that you're maybe just doing because that's what you have always done, but it's no longer being efficient, no longer being good. So you got to look at at how you use those things, your time, in order to successfully manage it. The one question that artists ask me all the time, even last night, we went to the opening of Expo Chicago the last night, and I found a friend and who made a comment, I don't know how Sergio does all he does, right? There must be 5 of them. That's the first comment that most people tell me, like, how can you, be a father, be a husband now, 25 years of my beautiful wife, Dr. Ana Gomez, and then have also, run the gallery and run our own art career and create breakfast with Sergio and podcasts and videos and go live and then, do your art, promote your shows. How in the world you do it? Well, the reason, my friend, is time. We all have the same amount of time. I try to sleep 7 hours a day, a night, to say. That's my goal. That's so that every moment that I'm awake, I try to be a good steward of it, right? Be a good steward of the time that I'm given. I don't know if this is my last day on earth. It may be, right? It may be my goodbye. Who knows? I don't know. I cannot control that. The only thing I can control is how I use every second of today. So, as an artist yourself right now watching this, ask yourself, how am I using my time? Am I allocating time for making appropriate time in the studio to make the best art I can possibly can? So if I'm gone tomorrow, my last piece is going to be a wow, amazing piece because it's the last piece I created on earth. That's the mentality that we all need to have. At the same time, when I'm not in the studio, how am I using my time? Am I also scheduling time for learning? As an artist, I need to learn this new technology, these new opportunities, these new ways of how the world is changing. The only way to learn these opportunities is to take time for learning. You need to take time for learning, to learn things, right? So it's part of your career as an artist. You have to be a constant learner, right? Manage your time in that way, and then schedule time also for fun, for relaxation, to refill your bucket. What Dr. Ana talks about a lot is this idea of refilling your bucket. Dr. Ana reminds us all the time inside our Next Level Academy of, we need time to relieve the pressure and to enjoy being an artist. You have seen me talk about the push and pull concept, right? I take that very serious. When it's time for me to push, something that I'm doing, a new body of work or a new program that I'm doing, a new coaching session, a new video class, when it's time for me to market and go and push, it. I don't apologize for marketing. I don't, because I know when it's my time to push. When that is done, like, for example, this challenge from your studio to the world between now and Monday, I'm going to be pushing it really hard. Yes, I'm marketing it really hard. I don't apologize for it. But once the challenge starts on Monday, that's it. I'm going to enjoy being an artist. I'm going to relax and go back to my regular posting and enjoy, this really cool thing of just sharing and connecting. So that's the concept of push and pull. You don't have to be all day, every day, marketing. You got to enjoy being an artist. You got to enjoy the process. Because if you don't enjoy the process, you're going to not enjoy the marketing either, right? You got to enjoy both. And I think that is a big key that sometimes we're missing as artists. We feel like all day we got to be, pushing, marketing. And therefore we resent it. We hate it because, I should be more time in my studio. So now I'm resenting the time I need to write that email newsletter or the time I need to go in Facebook or Instagram or whatever to market my art. No, you got to enjoy it, my friend. You got to enjoy it. We only live once. We are only here one time. This may be your last day. Don't you want to enjoy your last day? Hopefully it's not, right? I don't want to be a doomsday scenario here, but I cannot control that. So I want to enjoy this day that I have. And if I have tomorrow, I'm going to enjoy tomorrow. And that doesn't mean there's not going to be difficult things in my career, in my life. That doesn't mean there's not going to be no's, right, that come my way. There will be here. But at the same time, I want to enjoy it. Right? And I think when you find a rhythm in your art career of pushing and pull, where you push when it's time to push your new artwork, when it's time to push your new marketing, go ahead and push. Don't be shy about marketing your art. It's your art. Nobody is going to do it for you. Might as well be you. So might as well get good at it, right? That's why I'm teaching you all these things. So when it's time to push. When it's time to pull back and enjoy being an artist. Enjoy being an artist. If there's one thing that I want you to remember from this chat, my friend, is you got to enjoy the process. You got to enjoy being an artist so that when it's time to do your marketing, you enjoy that part as well. All right. Very good. So, you gotta do that and manage your time in a way that you can do your marketing. What's working really quickly? What's working right now in Instagram, for example, video, video is kind of like the thing that is working the most right now. Maybe you don't like video. Maybe you hate video. Maybe you don't consume video. but 90% of the world does, and it's entirely up to you. Maybe you don't have to do a video a day, but maybe you start with one video a week. You walk in your studio. Here's the I'm going to give you the simplest, one of the best videos that you can do as an artist on an Instagram reel or on TikTok or something. Take your phone. You're going to do a reel. Open the door of your studio. We can see that. Walk into your studio. Show us your last piece really fast. Don't show it too slow. And then get out, close the door. Boom. Make that a 15-second reel and see how it does. Super easy, right? Don't overthink it. Those things kind of work really well right now. You get people interested in your studio and what you're doing. If you don't have a beautiful studio, don't worry. You can do this in your table. Kind of like the video I did yesterday. I put my phone on, pointing to the table. I pull a print in front of it. I record it. Showed it really fast. Pull the print out. Why you don't want to show it very slow? Because if you show it very slow, people are not going to see it more than once. The key on any video to get more reach is when people stay to see it more than once. So if you show the artwork really slow, like many of you guys do, you look at a work of art and you're showing it really slow. I don't have to watch it again. I already saw it. I want to go to the next video. So that's one little tip. You want to show it fast so that people say, oh, what did I miss? What? Let me look at it again. Oh, let me look at it again. If somebody watched your video 3-4 times, boom, that is that is a killer video that you did in only 15 seconds, and it's going to do really awesome. So hope you enjoyed that little tip, my friend, when it comes to kind of what's working right now. Now, I know many of you guys are also waiting to hear about this NFT thing, right? This NFT thing. I told you this video is not about NFTs. This video is about new opportunities, and that includes NFTs. So I'm going to talk about that right now. For those of you guys have been waiting patiently on this too. I'm trying to finish up within as close to the hour as possible, okay? Might go a little bit, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, a little bit over, but I'll try to narrow it all down. Because all these things that I'm giving you really fast, I'm going to be covering them in my challenge from your studio to the world, right? That comes Monday. Like I said, I'm right now promoting that challenge, right? That's also one of the reasons I do these videos too, and everything that I'm doing this week, because it's my time of promotion. I'm enjoying this as much as next week when I'll go back and sit down and enjoy being an artist. That's just me, right? That's kind of how it works. So if you're in here with me, that's what you're going to hear too, right? So last year, this is the crazy thing. This time last year, I had no intention of making NFTs. I had just started hearing about NFTs. I was not really paying much attention. In the summertime, I saw more headlines and more people going into NFTs. Some artists that I know started to kind of going into it and like, that is something interesting. Again, like if those of you who've been watching from the beginning, is it something that's is it an opportunity, or is it a distraction, something that's not worth my time? Well, I thought the only way to know if it's an opportunity or a waste of my time is to learn about it. So I spent 2-3 months just learning, not talking about it. You didn't hear anything from me last year about NFTs because I was just learning, quietly learning. I took classes about this. What was a blockchain? What's an NFT? How it works? I asked a lot of questions to a lot of people who I knew. I watched countless hours of YouTube videos, some good information, some not so good. I made some mistakes when I started, because it was all new. And on the second day of February, that's when I decided to actually mint my first NFT. February 2nd, that was the first time. And what got me more interested into NFTs was last year I started doing augmented reality. So I've always wanted to do augmented reality using an app that you can look at your art and your artwork has motion. I've always thought that my art could have motion. My work is about creating this ethereal universe where there's like this essence of flesh and spirit. And I thought it would be really cool if one day those things can move. Well, so I started thinking about augmented reality, and that's how I found the app Artify app. If you guys have never seen it, go check it out. I love Artify. They have an amazing community, and they made augmented reality available to everyone. It used to be really hard to do augmented reality because when I started looking into it earlier last year, I didn't know about Artify, so I thought I had to hire somebody to design it and to create the app for me, and yada yada. So a lot of money, a lot of work, and again, there was going to be not really best use of my time. So when I found Artify, I got really excited, like, wow, does you mean that I can actually use their app to do what I've always wanted to do, and I can upload it and it could work. So I started doing that. I started to taking some of my paintings, and what I did, I went to Photoshop and I started to divide, some of the layers in Photoshop and upload each layer to Artify. They have a really awesome tutorial on how you do it. When you go to Artify, you can open your account for free. You can test it for free. Actually, in Artify, you open your account, you can upload each layer, you download the app, you look at your artwork with the app, and all of a sudden you can walk around each layer of your art. You can move around. You have seen maybe my videos on Instagram. If you haven't, go check them out. And that fascinated me, like, wow, this is incredible. This is awesome. I can bring to life with animation any painting that I have done in the past or now and apply this to them. Not only it's cool because it only works with your paintings, but it could also work with prints, or if you have it printed on a t-shirt, it just looks at the image and gives you that. It's called Artivive, Artivive, Artivive. And I'm gonna put all those links, in the comments things as well after I'm done with this. But just look for, if you go to Google, Artivive, augmented reality, you will find it. But anyway, so that's kind of what started me thinking about this new technology that was making it more available to people. At the same time, as I started to hear about NFTs, in the background, I was really active doing these Artivive augmented reality features. And then I started to do some, with layers, and I started to do some also with animation, and then some where if you point at my artwork, I did an exhibition actually last year where if you pointed at two of my paintings, you would, with your phone and using the app, you will actually see a time lapse of me making the art. So again, it becomes also educational, right? For you have an exhibition, people, instead of having a screen somewhere with you making the art, they can just point their phone with the app and they can see me making the art, right? This time lapse that I had already created, that I had it in YouTube, now all of a sudden it could be activated by just looking at my artwork with the phone and then just providing that educational component, right? So as I was doing this, that's when I'm like, well, I'm already kind of going into this thing. I think NFTs is a new opportunity for me too, right? And I had to start thinking about what NFTs were and what NFT, really could be for me as an artist, right? In other words, thinking about now that I've learned what is an NFT and how it works, what is the blockchain, I've learned about all the different marketplaces and all the different cryptocurrencies. How do I start as an artist, right? What am I going to make, right? I don't want to just take a picture of my artwork and make it into an NFT. That for me, that wasn't the case. I wanted to do something unique with it, right? So that's the idea of the NFT. You got to think about ownership in the digital world, what does that mean, and what is it going to make it that is unique? So that's when I started thinking about taking some of my older images, kind of remaster them digitally, reactivating them with also elements of animation, therefore creating a brand new artwork derived from the original, but it's a brand new piece. It's not just a picture of my artwork, but it's a derived piece, creating a brand new one that only exists in the digital world, because I could never have my painting to be animated by itself, right? Without the help of technology. Paint itself will not just animate. So this technology allowed that the paint to animate in brand new ways, therefore creating a brand new piece. And that's when I started thinking, okay, I think this is something I can do. And one of the big things that, at the beginning when I started my journey into NFTs, that I made mistakes because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of going blind and just kind of trying and testing by error. As you guys know me, I like to try things, test, and then come back and tell you what happened. So yes, I did some mistakes that were not good. That cost me some gas. But gas, not this gas. That the gas is what you call in the NFT universe when you have to delete something that you don't want anymore in the blockchain. So you pay gas fees. Those are fees that you pay for deleting something. So anyway, I made my share of mistakes. So as I'm going through it, also finding new blockchains that are cleaner too, that are eco-friendly. When I started into NFTs, I was just reading headlines, and I read a headline that says NFTs are bad for the environment, and that's all I heard. And in my mind, like, well, let me look at this further. And then looking at further, I found that, there are blockchains that are cleaner, that are, not as disruptive in terms of the use of consumption and energy. So I always said, not all NFTs are made equal. There are all kinds of different NFTs. There are all kinds of different uses of NFTs as well. It doesn't have to be a picture. There's sound, there's videos, all kinds of things. There's now property, all kinds of things, contracts, you name it. NFTs can have a lot of utilities, a lot of different things. But again, this video is not about NFTs, it's about an opportunity. So I found this opportunity and I jumped in, educated myself, make mistakes, clean up the mistakes. So far it's been 2 months into it. It's been very successful. I have sold now 13 NFTs, which is amazing. It's really cool. It's really cool, really great. And give me an opportunity to reinvent myself in a place where nobody knew who I was. I thought, like, when I jump into the NFT world, well, all of my art collectors in the physical world will want to buy an NFT. Well, let me tell you, none of them bought an NFT, at least not yet. I got a lot of messages from my collectors say, I love your NFT, Sergio, look awesome, but I don't buy cryptocurrency. I don't know how to create a wallet, a lot of things. And that's okay, right? It's going to take time for these things to get better, to evolve into something that's user-friendly and things like that. But I had to start finding new collectors and finding new techniques and new strategies to reinvent myself in a world. Like, if I had just landed in Mars, that's kind of how NFT was for me. Like, I just landed in Mars, nobody know me here. I got to figure out how to do it. And that's exactly what I've been doing, since February. And it's been awesome. It's been a great journey, made some really good friends. We're doing now great some collaborations, and more than anything, has created a new income stream for my art career that did not exist this time last year. So I see now NFTs as a parallel to my art career. I actually made a post today, just because I'm doing NFTs doesn't mean I stop painting. I'm still painting. I'm still working in my studio. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying this new process with this new technology, this new opportunity that has brought it. And actually, that is part also of my challenge, From Your Studio to the World, talking about NFTs. I have actually, I think that's going to be week number 5 in my challenge, talking about NFTs, where I'll share my journey. I'll share kind of everything that I'm doing. I share the apps that I'm using, how I'm using them, the different steps that you need to think about, on this. I have already put a whole video resource inside our Next Level Academy about NFTs, called NFTs for Traditional Artists. And it is really great. A lot of artists are already going through it, because I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made going into it. Because you're putting things in the blockchain. It's important to understand the blockchain and what you are doing, and protecting yourself as well, because there are a lot of scams happening as well. So, I created this, and it's kind of a live course thing where I continue adding more resources. I'm bringing in experts to talk about, their experience and new ideas. And it's been really awesome. It's been really awesome. So, if this is something that you're still interested, that you want to do, and you want my help, you don't have to. You can watch, like I did, 30 videos in YouTube for hours and hours, and you can figure it out yourself. But if you want to know kind of how I did it and how I'm doing it, and how the mistakes I've done and the things that I've learned, the strategies that I'm using, I'm going to go through them in my challenge, From Your Studio to the World, which everyone is invited to come and join and participate. So, this is another, I think we are right now in 2022 in the cusp, in the verge of new opportunities that were not here for us, at least not mainstream 2 years ago. And I think, for you as an artist, you need to evaluate which opportunities are for me right now, which opportunities are for me just to learn about, which opportunities for me are for me to jump into it. I'm not saying everybody go and make NFTs. That's not what this video is about. I'm not saying that. Please don't just go and make an NFT after this session just because I said that's what I'm doing right now. What I'm asking you to do is learn about not only NFTs, but any new opportunity that comes, in technology, in the world, in the way of making things, of living, find that opportunity, learn about it, schedule time in your busy, studio life, career. Many of you also have a job and things like that. So how can I schedule time to learn about this new thing, so I know I can understand and figure out, do I want to jump into this now, later, or maybe at some point in the future, right? So these are great things. Gail just mentioned Voice. Yeah, Voice has an amazing podcast also about this and about NFTs. So yeah, there are tons of resources out there. And again, it's learning. You gotta spend the time learning to know and to do it right. Because there's a lot of crap, a lot of bad things also with any new thing that comes around. It's a lot of bad that comes around. And I think we as artists, we have an opportunity to go in and to do good, to create good things, to create things that matter. I believe our artwork has value in this world, right? That's why we make it, right? I think our work or the work that we create, we wanted to have a positive impact in the world for generations to come. And both in the physical world, that's why I'm still doing paintings. I haven't left making paintings, as well as in the virtual world. And that's why I'm jumping into the blockchain, because that's the technology that is now here and it's going to stay. So for the future. And I think as artists, as we look at the legacy that we're leaving behind, we got to think about, the physical and the virtual. And those are two aspects that from this point forward in our art career, we always have to keep in mind. The pandemic did one thing, accelerated the process of that. Who hasn't now participated in an online show? I think most of us, right? I'm curating online exhibitions. So these are the different things, my friends, that when you look at how the world is changing, how do we take the art that we make in our studio into this amazing web of the world that we have, both physical, like the traditional things versus the virtual and the new things, is knowing our options. It's all about knowing your options. When I wake up in the morning, I look at my options and I say, okay, how am I going to spend my time today? I'm going to go in my studio, do X, Y, and Z. If I'm going to learn about X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to, invest some resources, time, effort, financial as well sometimes, in this particular thing, because, I see opportunity there as well for my art career. And if you have been following me for a while, I'm all about opportunities. I'm always looking for where is the new opportunity. And at the end of the day, no matter what you do, my friend, you'll always have critics. You'll always have people who say, hey, why are you not doing NFTs? Or, hey, why are you doing NFTs? Hey, why are you selling online? Hey, why you're not selling online? You will always have critics. No matter what you pick, you'll always have critics, right? Why do you have prices in your website? You shouldn't have prices in your website. No. Or another says you should. All these different voices that we hear. At the end of the day, my friend, you gotta make your own choices. You are the CEO of your art career. You are the boss of your art career. You are the boss of you. When you walk in that studio, you have to make your choices and live by the choices that you make, right? I get a lot of critics. A lot of people don't like my content, my videos, my podcast, things that I say. Sometimes people disagree with me. Maybe some of you may be disagreeing with me right now, what I'm saying, how I see the future. That is fine. It's a free world. I don't sleep. I don't lose a second of sleep because you disagree with me or somebody disagrees with me, right? I read a comment sometimes that is a negative comment, say, that's interesting, that's thoughtful. Okay, as long as it's not something that is hurtful, if it's a thoughtful comment on disagreement, I say, okay, that's cool. I can live with that, but I can keep moving. I'm gonna keep moving and making my own choices for what I believe is going to be good for my art career. So at the end of the day, we have to stand up for our art. If we don't stand up for art, nobody else will. Otherwise, you'll always be jumping into what everybody else tells you. So I'm going to wrap up this session by inviting you, my friend, to be part of my challenge from your studio to the world, which we start Monday. Everything that I talk about here in this 1 hour session is going to be part of that challenge. Every week, I'm going to talk about different things. Actually, we kick off with Dr. Janina. She's going to talk about building self-confidence in a changing world, which is an amazing topic. It's a changing world, right? How do we build confidence when things like the things that we know are shaking, right, and are moving around? That's how she's going to kick off this challenge. It's going to be amazing. Second week is going to be branding self-assessment. I'm going to help you to look at your brand right now in 2022, do a self-assessment so that you can improve. You can remove things that maybe are no longer as relevant and make it better for the 2023 where we're at, right? On week 3, we're going to talk about social media workflow, help you kind of relieve some of the stress and overwhelm of working, trying to manage it all. I'll show you my techniques, how I do it myself too, and in a way that, you can still be a happy artist, right? Still be a happy artist at the end of the day and not all frustrated. And then week number 4, we're going to talk about prints, how to create and make amazing prints of your art. And also how, those of you who want to use augmented reality, like I'm going to be doing very soon, when I'm going to be releasing prints that have augmented reality on them. I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. with Artify if you want to use that, to create augmented reality with your pieces. And, it's pretty awesome, pretty cool. And it's pretty cool because the things that you learn there, that can also help you learn, if you want to do some animation of your own NFTs. I'm going to talk about also in week 6 about how to find sponsors for your art, how to find supporters for your art, how to find affiliates for the things that you love, the brands that you may want to collaborate with. That's all on week 6. And week 7, week 5, I forgot. Week 5 is all about NFTs. I almost forgot that one. Week 5, I'm going to be talking about, it's a 10-week challenge. So week 5, right in the middle, we talk about NFTs. It's going to be awesome. I'll explain, what is art, what I'm doing, what I've seen. And it's going to be a great week, for those of you who are really interested on the NFT thing. Whether you want to do them now or you just want to learn about it, it's going to be great. Then week number 7, we're going to talk about the secrets of writing amazing winning proposals, all about the proposals. Week number 8, it's going to talk about how to get press, how to get press the right way. It's going to be great. Week number 9, it's all about the traditional world of how to approach galleries, institutions, museums that we may want to work with, in the physical world, right? And also online. So it's going to be really awesome. And then we wrap it up last week, week 10, with how to also work with art consultants, designers, and participation in art fairs. So that's what the challenge is all about. That's why it's called From Your Studio to the World, because we're going to talk about all the different ways in which that which we make in the studio can live, can exist in the world, in all these different iterations, online, offline, in new ways that maybe you have never heard of, and in traditional ways that you are already used to. So if you want to join me, my friend, you can find all about my challenge just about in every social media, because I've been posting it everywhere. If you have missed it, I don't know what happened, but in my profile link on Instagram, you can click that and you will find a link to From My Studio to the World. If you are watching this through the Zoom, in the email that I just sent you with this link, with this Zoom link, you will find a link to From Your Studio to the World. You're watching this on Facebook, you can go also to the Artist Next Level Facebook page, or just message me. I'll send you a link. If you're listening to the podcast, just go to the podcast description for a link. Just go to theartistnextlevel.com. Right there in the homepage, you will find a huge banner. You can't miss it. It's blue. It says From Your Studio to the World. Click there. All the details are there for you to join us. We start Monday. We kick off after Monday. Last day, you'll hear me talking about that until next year. I only do this challenge once a year. From Your Studio to the World is a once-a-year challenge. So if you want to take it now, take it. It's going to be awesome. You will find also that in our website, the Artist Next Level, we also offer one-on-one coaching sessions. We have now also a team up with our good friend, Drew Harris, amazing artist, Canadian artist now living in Malaysia, has worked all around the world. He's also now offering one-on-one sessions for artists who want to talk about their studio practice. Really good stuff. Check it out. All of it on our website. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll probably take a couple questions. Let's see. Let me look at here, see if there are questions here in the Zoom. Did you support Vision for NFTs initially? I don't know what is Vision for NFTs. Not sure, Alan, what Vision for NFTs is. Maybe I missed it. Not sure what that is. So I guess the answer is no. Or I didn't know about what Missions for NFTs was all about. Let's see. I'd be happy to take any, let's see. Those of you guys who are in Zoom, remember the questions, there's a Q&A button there that you can use to send me a question. Don't put them in the chat, because there's a lot of comments in the chat that I cannot go through because I'm broadcasting here to multiple things. Use the Q&A button. There's a Q&A button if you are in Zoom where you can send me a question right now. And if you are on Instagram and you want to send me a question, I'll be happy to answer. And there we go. Yes, thank you. That's right. If you are already also a member of the Art Next Level Academy, if you're already in my academy, you just have to wait on Monday for the challenge, and the challenge will start automatically for you. The challenge is, in order to participate in the challenge, you have to be in my membership. With the membership, it's a monthly membership, kind of like when you sign up for the gym, same idea, same thing. You sign up for my membership, you stay as long as you want. The challenge is 10 weeks. If all you want to stay is the challenge, you can do that. If all you can do is 1 month, if you want to do 1 month, you do 1 month. You do what you want. You're not forced to anything in any of my programs. It's entirely up to you. You always have an exit door waiting for you that, anytime that you want to leave. And that's kind of how we roll here inside the Next Level. But should I do Instagram or portfolio? If you are an emerging artist, should you do first an Instagram or a portfolio? What should be first? I think you should do both. It's like, should I do Zoom right now or should I do Instagram? Well, I decided to do Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and Zoom Live, right? So the answer is the same for you, my friend. If you're an emerging artist, open definitely an Instagram page so that you can start putting your work there, sharing it with the world. Also, start creating a portfolio page. Might as well do them at the same time so that, if you want to send samples of your art in a really nice, organized way, you can click and send them that link. So it is that what you want to do. A lot of times the answer is not one or the other, is both, right? Of course, as you have time, build them up. To participate in the challenge, will there be a link? Yes, actually, let me put the link right here, right now. For those of you who are in Zoom, for those of you who are in watching this through Instagram, you can just go to my profile link. There's already there from your studio to the world option that you can click on. If you're on Zoom, I'm gonna put it right now. It's on Zoom as well. Let's see, is there another, I'll be happy to take any of the questions here. See you in the next level. Oh, thank you guys, thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. If you only want to do the challenge, yes, the challenge is part of the Next Level Academy. In other words, when you sign up for the Academy, everything is there. Week by week, I will be releasing the challenge for 10 weeks every month. The way it works, every Monday, I release a new video, just like this. And then you can watch it at any time. It's not live that, oh, you missed it. No, I release it and you watch it anytime during that week. As part of the challenge, there's things for you to do. And then, you can do them as your leisure. And then you go to our Facebook group if you want and share with others, meet other artists. Every Tuesday, we do Zoom studio visits where you can chat with us, which is really awesome. And every Thursday, I do live Q&A inside of a Facebook group for the Next Level Academy. So every Thursday, if you have questions, you bring your questions about whatever you are working on, and I'll be happy to answer them through video. And if you cannot attend the Q&A, you can pre-pose your question, and I will answer it through video. Every Thursday, we do that. We've been doing the Q&As every Thursday for a long time. We started also the Zoom studio visits with breakout rooms, so you can meet other artists, since the pandemic, and it's been really, really awesome. Okay, then, okay. Let's see. Fabulous presentation, Sergio. Thank you. Providing bright, innovative content. I'm excited to be joining from your studio to the world. Awesome. I'm just moving into NFTs, augmented reality, the metaverse, and animating my creative process, making both 2D, 3D paintings, creative object experiences. Absolutely. I love that. Oh, Doug, my friend. Awesome. Yes, I saw your email. I was actually going to answer to that too. Yes, these are opportunities, right? And we are never too young or too old to jump into a new opportunity. Sometimes you say, well, Sergio, I'm bad with technology. That is the worst excuse I've ever heard. I'm bad with technology. Listen, my dad is 80, what is it? I think he's 86 now. And, he surprised me. He learned how to use Zoom himself. We do now FaceTime on the iPad. We can learn. We're never too young or too old to learn. And I think the more you learn, your brain gets better. It's like exercise for your brain, right? Learning is exercise for your brain. So even at 50-year-old that I am right now, I don't have the same energy that I had when I was 20, right? However, I feel that when I sit down to learn new things, my brain is exercising to stay on top. Thank you for that comment, though. Looking forward to seeing you, my friend. It's going to be really, really awesome. Really awesome. If there are any other questions, guys, send them. If you have a question on Instagram, put it right there in the comments. I'll be happy to check it. Or in the questions, there's a little question thingy on Instagram. Unfortunately, I cannot see Facebook because the way this is automatically broadcast into Facebook, I cannot see your questions on Facebook, but I can see them here. Let's see. All right. Yeah, challenge begins April 11. Let's see. Well. Thank you for the Instagram reel tip is a good one, right? It's a good one. What makes a good Instagram reel, what makes it going to have a lot of reach is when people see it multiple times. So in other words, if you're giving the beans too soon, why would somebody watch it more than once? So that's a good tip for you, everyone who's watching right now. If you want to make better Instagram or TikTok reels, make videos that people watch again more and more times. And that is always really fun. All right, in Zoom. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dr. Yana. I have questions here in Zoom that they were not visible. Okay, I got them. So I have some questions here that have it right. So I thought Virtual Lot Vision was your NFT app for publishing. I think you have changed to something else. No. So for NFTs, you can find my NFTs on. You can find my NFTs on right now. OpenSea. You can find them on Foundation. Those are with Ethereum, and you can find them on Solana. With the eco-friendly blockchain. On Form Function. That's the 3 places where you can find my NFTs. I have done videos about many other platforms that I have also interview the creators of, because I do a lot of podcasts and videos. And I think you're talking about Voice. Yeah, Voice is another platform which I actually interview the community marketing person for Voice, which was really great, awesome. You can find that on my Instagram, and I think that's kind of what you are referring to. Yes. So they're still there. At the end of the day, you have to decide which platforms you want to use. I chose to go to OpenSea, Foundation, and Form Function to start with, but I'm now spreading, and I will actually be announcing new collections going in different marketplaces. So one of them also probably will be Voice as well. So that's the answer that I think that you were looking for, which I didn't understand at the beginning. Thank you so much for sending a clarification on your question. Love that. All right. Valerie says, will there be a mental health component in the challenge? Ways to cope? Well, absolutely. The first one is with Dr. Yanina on that. Another good thing about that in the challenge is that Dr. Yanina is there too. So as you know, Dr. Yanina is my wife, and you guys have seen her in some of my videos or have listened to her in my podcast or some of the things like that. And actually we have a book coming very soon. Next month, you're going to be hearing a lot of it very soon. So all about wellness and mindset, but she is inside the Next Level Academy. So when you have questions or you need, kind of tips on kind of manage the stress or overwhelm, how to cope with all these new things, absolutely. You can post your questions every first Thursday of every month. Dr. Ena does a live Q&A inside of our group, and she talks exactly about mindset, wellness, anything relates to that. So that's the best place to come in first Thursday of the month, post a question that has to do with mental health, ways to cope with anything that we're going through. And she'll be happy to go through those through video, just kind of like I'm doing right here. So yes, Valerie, thank you for asking. That's a beautiful question. Ways to cope with all this new avenue we will be learning. Absolutely. And also, I always talk, that's a beautiful question, because I always talk about, in all my programs, in everything that even Breakfast with Sergio, we have to avoid overwhelm, right? I sometimes get overwhelmed too with, it's like going to the buffet, right? Being an artist today is like going to the buffet. You got too many options. Before, 20 years ago, being an artist was walking in your studio, you make the art, you make some slides, you send them out, and well, hopefully, knocking on wood, somebody will like your slides enough to give you a show. Today, you have tons of options, tons of tickets, right? So it can be overwhelming. So always I talk about in everything that I do with my podcast and here and Facebook, Instagram, and on my programs, including From Your Studio to the World, at all costs, we got to avoid overwhelm. So we learn. Doesn't mean that everything that you learn, you have to actually apply right now, right? In other words, you learn, you take notes, part of the strategy is to figure out what things I'm ready to jump on now, what things I'm not ready to jump on now. For example, if you have a solo show coming up next month and you are on a tight deadline finishing your paintings, maybe it's not the best time for you to start animating your artwork because you want to jump into NFTs. What you can do is you can learn about it, you can hear about it, you can be in the process of learning. So after your solo show, you're like, you know what, I have informed myself. Now I can start this new process. That's kind of like what I like to talk about, to preach in everything that we do. Avoid overwhelm at all costs, be a learner, and then put things to practice as they make sense for you. All right, here's another question. For any artist who has been inactive for quite a while, what would be a great kickstart for coming back without making an audience feel shocked, confused? What happened to this artist suddenly? Beautiful question. That's a great question. This is what I would do. If I would be gone for, let's say, 6 months. Now, if you've been gone for a month or two, don't worry about it. You can still go back like nothing happened. Don't think that somebody was taking notes. Where are you, right? Where are you today? People forget, you're not the only artist that they follow on social media. So if you've been gone for 1 or 2 months, no big deal. Just go back and keep posting, right? Don't overthink it. Now, if you've been gone for like 6 months, a year or so, what I would do if I've been gone for that time, I would make a post that says, I'm back. Everybody, I'm back. And give myself an opportunity to reinvent myself and to say, I'm back. You don't have to know all the details while I was gone. I had a rough season in life, maybe health, maybe personal issues, maybe whatever it was. You don't have to give your life story. You just got to say, it was rough, but I'm back. What matters is from now forward. I'm not going to contemplate the past and stay there forever. I've decided that from this point forward, I'm here. So that's what I would do if I were you. And I would give myself an opportunity to reinvent myself and restart all over. And I think that could be really fun, marketing wise too. All right. Let's see. Helen has another question. Is it still important for an artist to have their own website during these times, or is there enough social media platforms without needing it? I joined the challenge during the first lockdown in 2020, and I'm going to join again to keep moving forward in the right direction. Awesome. Thank you, Helen. Glad that you joined and you're coming back. Super. The question is, should you have a website now that we have all these new things, we have all these social media platforms? My personal opinion on this is yes. At the end of the day, it's your decision, right? Everything that I say is your decision. I'm just giving you my personal opinion based on where we are, who we are, and what I know. I believe in 2022, every artist should still have a website. Why? It's the only thing you own. If Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever you are at decides to change direction and you no longer like it, or the followers there start leaving for whatever XYZ reason, where can people see your work? The only place that is yours of your creation is your website. So I believe every artist should still have a website because you control that. From all different platforms or all different social medias, you can always point your website. It's like your home. Everywhere else is rented property, right? The only place that you own is your website, is your home. So I suggest that you should have a website. And at the same time, for me as a curator, when I'm looking at an artist's artwork, I want to see their website. Yeah, I can find them in social media, but in the website is where I will find, the traditionally what would be the more professional aspects of your art career, like, your bio, your story. I can see your work in order. I can contact you directly from there. If I send you a message sometimes to Instagram, you might not get it because it might go into your requested messages because we're not following each other. There are many things. Having a website is like having your home while you are still renting other properties. That's how I would put it. Anna, will the challenge be curing NFT sales in such a way that at the end of the challenge, we will be able to sell our art in this manner? Absolutely. I mean, everybody that comes to the challenge, you immediately will have access to my whole section on NFT for artists. That's already there. So you could actually, if you are like really into it, you can go for it and start already working on your strategy to start minting anytime. Absolutely. You work at your pace. Okay. That is always the way I like to do it. I don't like to push everybody to the precipice. You put at your pace so that you can be strategic what makes sense for you and when it makes sense for you if you decide to do it. But yes, absolutely. You learn about the different options, the different marketplaces, the different blockchains, all the things so that you are prepared. Anybody can start now and mint a piece. Doesn't mean it's going to be successful or people are going to see it. It's just like anything. You got to have a strategy so that you do it right, so that you don't waste your time. Do you recommend, Joanna, recommend e-commerce or regular portfolio website? That's a great question. It's entirely up to you. If you want to sell online, well, the only way to sell online is having an e-commerce page or a section on your website that has e-commerce. If you don't want to sell online, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just make it into a portfolio. It's not one is better than the other. It's about what do you want to do. If you go to my website, it's both. You can find my portfolio, you can find all my artwork, and then you'll find a little tab that says shop. And you can buy there some of the smaller pieces that I have. If you want some of my bigger, more important pieces, then I'll have a link to Artsy. That's where I sell through my gallery, 33 Contemporary. That's where my bigger pieces are. So yes, so in other words, I have both. I have a link to where people can buy them. I have a section where they can buy certain works, and soon there will be these new prints coming in with augmented reality. And also there's my portfolio as well. So it's all about kind of where you're at. If you're not ready to sell online, then start with a portfolio. When you're ready to sell online, then just add the e-commerce to it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love those questions, guys. I'm going to be wrapping up pretty quickly, but I just like questions. Ismael says, is it okay to use various NFT marketplaces to push my artworks? Yes. However, you don't want to put the same NFT in multiple marketplaces. It's not like the web 2.0 where, you may have a painting on Saatchi Art and on Fine Art America and on your website and everywhere else. No. In this case, the idea of an NFT is that it's unique, right? There's one of them. So I don't recommend that you go to OpenSea and put an NFT, then take exactly the same NFT, put it on Foundation and Form Function and Readable and everywhere. No, because then it's no longer unique, right? You are hurting your reputation by somebody buys your NFT in OpenSea, then all of a sudden they go like, wait a minute, I already own that and it's already there. So you want to avoid that. Now you can be in various marketplaces, with different collections or different works. That way you can explore different platforms and different audiences to see which one works for you. And those are kind of the things that we go in the challenge to more in detail, where we have also guests coming in and talking about their experience in different marketplaces. You gotta find which ones work for you. It's just like anywhere else, right? Just because one gallery works for one artist doesn't mean it's gonna work for everybody. Same thing, same way. Will I have a replay on this session? Yes, I hope so. Yeah, on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, you will be able to watch this anytime after this session. I'll probably delete it by Monday when the challenge kicks in, but I'll have it there for a while. Yes, it was Voice. Yes, Voice is a great platform. I still stand by it. I think they're doing amazing things. I think they are coming out with also new releases as well. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there are so many options. You got to pick which ones you start with. I make some choices, and now I'm starting to spread also with different collections, right? Like I said, you will not find my same NFTs in every platform that I'm in. In every platform, I'm thinking really creating a strategy, which collection I want to put here, how am I going to talk about it, and so on. These are all the details that we go over in the challenge. So super awesome. Thank you, guys. I think these are all the questions. Etsy is your best. Etsy is your best choice when it comes to online platforms to sell your art. You gotta find which one is the right for you and which one you may have great success or better success than others. It's not like one is the platform where every art is sold. There's no such thing. There are over 250 platforms to sell your art online. You just gotta pick the one that's best for you, and sometimes by trying and testing and by seeing what other artists may have there, right? So maybe Etsy might work really good for you, but might not work for Mary or John, and vice versa. Maybe Saatchi Art might work great for John, but it might not go really well for Ellen. So, you gotta look at different marketplaces, see what they have, see how they function, see other artists that are there, see if you can imagine yourself there, and you can test it and try it. I actually have done a really good podcast interview with the curator of Saatchi Art. She talks about like great strategies for Saatchi Art. You don't want to just upload your stuff and leave it and forget it and think it's going to sell by itself. So educate yourself on each platform that you want to be at and you want to sell, so that you have greater chances to succeed in that platform. But there's no such thing as, okay, here's a magic platform, I just put my artwork and it will sell. Same with NFTs. Don't expect like, okay, I just make an NFT, I put it on Voice or OpenSea or Foundation, it's just gonna sell by itself. may happen, but it's not the norm. So everything is strategic. You gotta build the marketing, you gotta build the strategy so that you can get the success that you're looking for. There's no such thing as just press a button and it's done and ching ching money comes in to your account. Things they work. Yeah, absolutely. I love those questions, guys. Thank you. How many pieces should I have before I start marketing them? Again, that's a question on strategy. There's not a magic number. Some artists start with 3, others artists start with 20. There are big NFT projects that start with 10,000. Again, the gamut is the gamut. You got to think about what makes sense for you. What am I creating? What is my collection all about? How many are there in that collection? There's not a magic number. And, you just have to look at what makes sense for you. I suggest if you are just starting, don't flood the market with 50 pieces. If you have not started kind of getting to know the people in the NFT space and marketing yourself and things of that nature, you gotta go through the process of learning so that then you're like, okay, now I know what I want to do. This is my strategy. This is how I want to do it. And then you start minting, right? After you have picked your platform, you have picked also your blockchain that you want to use, and your marketing strategy, and your collection, what you want to do. So yes, that's the answer to that. It's like the question: should I make abstract art or should I make representational art? Well, it's a choice. You're gonna have to choose one or the other, or maybe both at some point. But based on various aspects, right, of your interest, what you want to do, and what you see others may be doing as well. So. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, definitely. It's not I cannot tell you go with 1 or go with 500. It's hard to see what makes sense for you. I have a friend of mine who just released last month very successfully a collection. I think it was about 300, and it was amazing. She did really well. But I've seen others who release 50 and nothing happens for 6 months. So again, it's all relative. You have to kind of strategize. Every artist is different. Every artist is unique, and that's where what I say the rubber meets the road. That's why I like challenges, because a lot of the things that we talk about is not a yes or no answer. Click here and it's done. Click there and it's done. These are the things that we need to talk about, and that's what the challenges are about. I'm very hands-on in the challenges. We talk about these things. I like to explain, when somebody asks a question, I like to give different scenarios so that, you can make your best decision yourself. I don't tell you do this or do that. It's your choice. I'll tell you, think about this, think about that, think about these different scenarios, and then you pick the one that you think is best for you. I think those are the best ways in which we can make better decisions. And that's why, my challenges are not, here's a bunch of videos, you can watch them whenever, and then it's done. They're hands-on. That's why they're once a week. New video release, so we have a time to talk about it and to explore the different possibilities that all this brings about. So thank you guys for watching. I'm now tired of talking. It's been 1 hour and a half. I was planning on 1 hour, but there are some really good questions. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you all. You guys are amazing, are awesome. Thank you for everybody who stayed to the end. On Facebook, Instagram, Zoom, and podcast. So first time I do all them together. And I think it went well, except with the one little hiccup that we had on Instagram at the beginning. I think it went fairly well. I hope so. So have a good day, my friends. Again, if you want to reach out to me, if you want a direct link to the challenge, I'm happy to send you that. Or to go to anywhere on my social medias, you will find it there, from your studio to the world. Best of luck on your on the things that you're doing. Whether you're joining my challenge or not, it really doesn't matter. I want to wish you all great success. I want to wish you all an amazing rest of 2022. Continue waking up every morning and looking at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, today I'm gonna make it the best. I'm gonna do the best art I can make. I'm going to show up to the world in the best way I can, even if it's just a quick post that says, good morning, everybody, but just do that. Look at the opportunities that we all have available in the world today. And I think you'll see slowly things will continue to evolve and change. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you are in the world, and what things may you have working for you or against you. I believe that if you have access to the web, the internet, I think many opportunities can come your way. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you very soon. So I'll start wrapping things up here. Let me see. How do I close all this stuff?
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.